What's up, what's up? Today is Thursday. I'm in the shed looking at the S14 now. Attempting to get the S14 ready for DORI DORI on Sunday. So, issue is I've just measured the truck and the car's not going to fit on it. Which is fine because I can just put smaller wheels on it. But then you look like a homo when you're driving anywhere. And you know, you want to avoid looking like a homo at any stage, so yes, I'm working out what I can do to modify the truck so I can just load this on and off without it being a hassle, so that in the future I don't need to change the wheels just to be able to go drifting. So yeah, basically what I've got in the front end here is 2 meters 50 centimeters. Let's have a look. Yeah. And unfortunately, the front of my truck is 2 meters 40. Sorry, I'm giving you guys wrong measurements. This is 2 meters 205 centimeters. And the truck at the widest point where I latch the truck on is 204, so 2 meters 4 centimeters. So I'm 5 mil over on each side. The rear is 2 meters basically on the dot, and the width of my truck at the back where I'd load this is like 198. So yes, it's my Ishwali. I can't modify the back of the truck, so I can't even be like, I'll just load on the back of the truck, it'll be fine, because it won't fit. And I can't modify that because that's where the bed swivels up and down. So yes, that's an Ishwali. So yeah, I'll brainstorm what I'm going to do overnight for that. But in the meantime, excuse me. In the meantime, I've got a bit of a list. So what I want to do is I want to make some under panels for the car, front bar, rear bar, side skirts. What else do I want to do? Obviously give it the engine bay a wash, give the car a wash. I've got to change front tyres, I've got to change rear tyres. Give the engine a service, so put some fresh oil in that. Vacuum out the interior, wipe the interior down. So that's all nice. And then to make sure everything works. There's nothing I actually need to do to the car. I could just take it like this, but in my opinion it doesn't look cool enough. So yes, that's my strat. What I also would like to do is space out this rear bar. So at the moment it actually tucks under this. So what I want to do is, if I can, is actually space this out so it actually meets this body line. I don't know what that's going to do to the rear bar, or even if the rear bar is going to be able to flex that much. I very much so doubt it. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do there, but I'll work something out, because I feel like that will really complement the width of the car if the rear bar actually follows that, rather than it tucking under, and it kind of just doesn't seem like the rear bar's for the car, if you know what I mean. Same on this side. Then I want to make under panel for the rear, under panel for the sides, under panel for the front. Yeah, that's kind of all I've got on the list at the moment. I do have a little bit more of a list that I actually need to go through to be like, this is actually what I need to do, but that's in my phone and I can't view that while talking to you guys. So yes, for the time being, I'll probably start the car, drive it to, the road's not too busy at the moment. As I say that, 3 cars drive past. Probably drive it to just there, and give it a wash. Actually, I'm not going to wash it first because it's going to go back in the shed. I'm going to be cutting up a whole bunch of fiberglass. It's going to get dirty again, so yeah, I'm not going to wash it first. But yeah, let's get into getting this car ready. Super excited that I even got accepted to DORI DORI. Pretty wild event. Watched it for years, and yeah, to be there in person is going to be nuts, especially in my own car. So yeah, let's get into getting this rig done, and I'll keep you guys posted. All right, it's the next morning. Keys? Keys. Oh, shit. Yeah, it is the next morning, mate. It's the next morning. Let me unlock the door for Ben. Yeah, mate. Mate, I don't know where the keys are. You last had them. Yeah, they've been fucking hanging up inside. Jeez. Oh, sorry, this guy. Oh, no, there's no issue with swearing on the tube here. All right, so, yeah, it's the next morning. We're getting into the car. Benny's going to help me out just to get a couple of things done. There's not too much to do, but there is a little bit. I'm just trying to tidy up the interior a little bit. So I might try and get that bit of wiring sort of out of the way, and so you can't see it. And then in regards to the glove box, I'll put the glove box back in it. And then there's also an under dash trim over that side that I'd like to put in it. And then once that's done, we've got a couple of other bits and pieces to do. I've got to go through the list, but I want to make some under panels for it, like I said, and get a fair bit more stuff sorted on the car, just aesthetics wise. I'd like to repolish the wheels. So I've got some polishing compound and a polisher coming. Thankfully, they were already polished a little while ago. It was actually before LZ, so that's actually a long time ago. But they shouldn't take too much to clean up, so we'll get to polishing those. Still don't know what I'm going to do with the truck yet, because obviously it's too wide. Might need to change some wheels or something like that, or just drive it on there and have the rims just sitting, the dish just sitting on whatever it sits on. But yes, let's go through the list, and yeah, I'll tell you guys what we've got to do. Interior pieces in. This under piece was missing, and the glove box was out, so that makes that look a bit tidier. Ben's tidied up some wiring over there, but really I need to get rid of all that bird's nest from someone who previously ried it and just didn't tuck it up properly. So yeah, we're going to start the car now, back it up, put the corner lights in, because I've been anti-corner light gang for a while, and it'd be nice to complete that side of the car to make it look a bit better. And then we're going to yank the rear bar, side skirts, front bar off, make an under panel for all them, screw all that on, and then we'll go change some tyres, give it a wash, and then there's a couple more small bits and pieces we need to do. But yeah, all in all, not too much left. Okay, things have escalated. So we need to make the guard go forward so it's not hitting on the door anymore, and then the headlight needs to come back so the corner light can line up. So we've taken the guard off. The door wasn't quite lined up before, so we've just adjusted the door so it opens and closes better. And now we can put the guard back on. We've already elongated the holes, just got to elongate that one there. And then we can push it forward, bolt it on, and then bolt the headlight in. Make a little bracket up for the headlight on the guard because it's non-existent in there. I had a hit, don't know when, you know, I don't crash cars, so it's weird that that'd be broken, but yeah. All right, let's keep going. All right, they're in. That took forever, and this one's still not even fitting that good. Or if I pull the bottom of the guard forward, it'll fix that. But yeah, I had to make new headlight bracket for that side on the outside, and then I had to make it totally new headlight brackets for the inside and outside on that side. This one's still fitting like shit, so might have popped out the little clip at the bottom there. Oh, it has. Let's see if we can, there we go. Yeah, as good as it's going to get. All right, on to the next thing on the list. I don't know what it is, but I'll check it now and let you guys know. Next thing on the list, Benny's just yanked the rear bar off. I've got to trim the car on the other side so the rear bar can sit in, because at the moment, like, that line on the car is too low down, so the rear bar is kind of like this, and then this gap in here is like out at the bottom because we need the rear bar to go further forward, but it can't because it's hitting on like this line here. So yeah, we're going to do that now, and then start making up under panels for the rear bar, side skirts, front bar. Benny's about to pump the tyres up, and whilst Benny's doing all that, I'm going to undo the top rad hose and undo the fans, get the fans out, and then trim the new fans, put the new fans in, and then we should be good to go. Alright, just move the car so we can align it. This side's got heaps of toe in, and this side's got a little bit of toe in as well, which is fine. It's what I usually ran with the power tracks that were on it, to get as much grip as I could out of a radial. but now we're changing up tires, so we are probably going to, looks like it's got about half a degree or a degree of positive camber. So I'm going to camber it in a tiny bit, tow it out a little bit. We're literally just going to eye align it and then leave it there. Alright, time to change the fans. One of these died when I was in Australia and I was in too much of a rush to fix it before I sent it. So yeah, massive thank you to Tim Corbett and for Bodie to for getting this to me. Literally, I messaged these guys on like last Friday night and they organised it within half an hour, and Bodie flew out the next morning at 6 AM. So I've got a pair here to replace. Let's get these ones out, measure them up, cut the other ones because that's how much room I have. Old fan, new fan, only fans. Hot. Had a little bit of play in this driver's side wheel, gave it a little bit of movement, and tie rod was actually stuffed, so just replaced the tie rod. And now we're going to get into making under panels for it, and then I've got to bleed the cooling system and then fit tires, and then there's only a couple of tiny little bit of pieces, including washing the car and vacuuming the interior, so we're very close. Well, we're running out of time, but this is the front and under panel, so let's get this cut and let's get this screwed on, and then we'll get onto the side skirts and rear bar. Okay, left you guys at cutting under panels. As you can see, the bars are back on the car without the under panels on it, because I just wanted to put it together to have a look at some things. But what I'm going to do now is, as you can see here, this doesn't line up flush, so what I am going to do is actually trim this here so that this bar can actually push all the way in and this can sit flush. I have had a slight hit on this, so I might try bash that out a little bit. What I'm wanting to avoid is all this bog coming out when I do bash it, which is probably what's going to happen. So maybe I'll just leave that because I don't want to add more work to myself, especially when I'm meant to be leaving here at 1 o'clock and it is already 11. So yes, I'm going to trim in here little bit by little bit until this sits flush, and then I'm going to put some riv nuts in the bar, bolt the bar on, and then I'm going to work out if I'm going to be able to move this all the way out to be flush with this. And if I can, I'll weld a tab on the inside of this guard that comes down so that this can meet it. That's where I'm at the moment. I would love to do the same to the side skirt, but that's going to be a lot harder to do than the rear bar. But yeah, I figured I have to modify this first to see if it's going to work, and if it is going to work, then I'll make the under panel to suit that, because if it's not going to work, then like, you know what I mean, if I make the under panel to suit this now, and then, you know, the under panel comes to here, and then I pull this all the way out, you know, the under panel's not even going to be seen. So yes, there's some wall drags for Suzuka Twin, both this side on the normal layout and this side on the reverse layout. I wish someone sent me some videos of that. That would be sick to watch. But yes, you guys know where we're at. I'm so keen to get to Dori Dore tomorrow. Let's keep chipping away. I've just marked that bottom section there, drawn a straight line. And they've done the same on this side, so it should allow that to sort of come up the distance it needs to do. Yeah, whilst I'm reminded, Key Street's actually here in Osaka at the moment, doing a pop-up store. I don't know if you've seen any of their merch, but it is so gangster. Like, all their merch is so cool. They've just done a collab with Nismo and released a whole bunch of retro Nismo gear. So if you want some cool tees, yeah, go check them out. Those guys do some really cool stuff. These stickers will be changing. This one here, this one here, this one here, this one here on the skirt, and this one here. My good friend Ryota, you guys may know him as Cutting Work Splash, is cutting some stickers, or printing and cutting some stickers for me as we speak. So I'm planning on finishing the car, loading it up, heading down to Osaka to pick up the stickers from him. I'll put them on the car, possibly there, if I can get his hand, or I can just put them on at the track. But yeah, it'll be a little bit of a new look. I really want to get the under panels on as well, because again, that'll be another sort of just
thing to make it look cool. So let's cut these bottom of these guards, see if we can get this rear bar to fit on a little bit better, riven up the rear bar so we can bolt it in, and yeah, keep chipping away. Okay, that's what we're looking at. Unfortunately, I kind of did get the hammer out after I said I wasn't going to, and tried to pull that out a little bit because I wanted to make that line up. So what I will need to do in the future is obviously weld like a triangle piece that tapers down to there, so that that's all flush. But for the time being, that's what I'm going to do. I'll probably paint that and get some form of maybe acrylic, black acrylic, to screw behind there. That'll, I suppose, just take up those 2 bolts there and that tech screw there, just to fill that in. But I think that looks much better than that. I'd imagine you guys think the same, but we'll see in the comments. That's both sides done now. Yeah, I reckon that looks cooler. Alright, we're all done. Look how thick it looks. So, just about to load it on the truck for the first time. And like I've said in my previous endeavours, I don't think it's going to fit width-wise. Not to mention how low it is. That's going to be an issue going over the beaver, but let's see. Alright, so loading the car on was an absolute mission, but it's on. It doesn't clear by much. See if I can get this going. This is how much the wheel clears by. I had to actually take my slip-on spacer off to make that clear. But yes, it's on. This is how the front's on. Because the side skirt is, yeah, touching. And that siren is because someone just came into my lane going over a bridge and swerved back into their own lane and totally took out a center island and rolled their car. So it was pretty hectic. So yeah, wild. So we've just rocked up to Ryota's shop, Cutting Work Splash. Here he is.
What's up?
Ryota runs Cutting Work Splash, which is sticker cutting and printing. Is that right?
Cutting and printing,
yep.
And like everything about like print stuff. Like I make their t-shirts, hoodie redesign, and their like tiny stickers,
yep.
Signage, like Nobori flags. And
he does it all.
Like
you do Nobori flags as well?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get some of those.
Like parts wrapping.
Yep.
And, yeah, something like that.
So this is Ryota's car. You're driving on Monday. Kenzai All-Stars qualifying for Osaka.
Yeah, but like I haven't driven since last December.
Oh.
At Mehan.
Oh yeah.
But like just better focus to passing the qualify.
Yep. Our qualifying for Hyogo is not until like July.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so far away.
I think Osaka qualify like basically they organize maybe like July. But I don't know like why. This year it's gonna be like
so early.
Week.
Yeah, I know.
It's
hot.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But at least we're gonna get pretty good weather.
Yeah.
July will be like rainy season.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll qualify so we can drive with Ryota at Kenzai All Stars. With the new car set up, we should be able to do it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, Ryota just cut some stickers for us, so we'll pick these up and then we'll start heading all the way up to the track.
Like Okuibuki?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. Little bit of a mission away.
From here, maybe 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah.
That's not too bad. We're used to driving like 10 hours. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right, let's pick these stickers up. Oh, guys, there's the car on its roof. Very much so. Wish I had a dash cam so you guys could see that. I was scared. Just pulled up to a 7-Eleven. Look at this little rig.
That's sick. It's got a sunroof. I don't know if they ever came with them. Surely that's custom. So there's the spare tyres in the back. Alright, just got to accommodation. 100% it's a Love Hotel, come on. What a beast. Look at it. Look at it. Yeah. Alright, let's go to sleep.